How to learn anything so fast it feels cheating. If you stay till the end of this video, you'll learn a science-backed system that can dramatically increase how fast you understand, remember, and master skills. Because the difference between fast learners and average people isn't intelligence, it's the way they train their brain. And after studying neuroscience, memory psychology, and accelerated learning methods, I found one framework that changes everything. The scary part? Once you use it correctly, normal studying starts feeling painfully slow. Step 1. The 80-20 deconstruction. Step 1 is where 99% of people completely fail before they even begin. It's called deconstruction, and we use a psychological framework known as the Pareto principle, or the 80-20 rule. Amateur learners make the fatal mistake of treating all information equally. They open a 500-page textbook on page 1 and try to memorize every single sentence, diagram, and footnote in chronological order. This isn't learning. It's a direct route to mental exhaustion and cognitive burnout. To learn at a genius pace, you have to perform surgery on the subject. You need to identify the hyper-potent 20% of the material that actually produces 80% of the real-world results. Before you read a single chapter or watch a single tutorial, you must zoom out and map the landscape. If you are trying to learn a brand new language, do not waste weeks memorizing obscure vocabulary or complex grammar tables. Instead, isolate the 100 most frequently used words and master just 3 basic tenses: past, present, and future. If your goal is to learn computer programming, ignore the endless libraries and focus entirely on the core pillars: variables, loops, and conditional functions. By isolating these fundamental high-leverage pillars, you effectively bypass months of useless filler, theoretical fluff, and trivial data that the traditional education system uses to drag out courses. You are cutting straight to the nervous system of the skill. This allows you to start executing, practicing, and actually using the skill in the real world almost instantly, while everyone else is still stuck reading the introduction. Step 2. The Feynman reality check. Step 2 is the ultimate reality check, and it is designed to destroy the single biggest illusion in human learning. It is called the Feynman technique, named after the Nobel Prize-winning physicist Richard Feynman, who realized that most people mistake passive consumption for actual knowledge. You read a chapter, your eyes skim the text, your brain whispers, "Yeah, that makes sense," and you trick yourself into believing you've mastered it. This is a cognitive trap called the illusion of competence. You don't actually know the material. You are simply familiar with looking at it. To shatter this illusion instantly, you must apply the ultimate test. Force yourself to explain the concept as if you were teaching it to a 10-year-old child. This means you are completely stripped of your defenses. You cannot hide behind heavy jargon. You cannot use complex vocabulary, and you cannot gloss over details with fancy terms. You have to use plain, brutal, simple language. The exact millisecond your mind goes blank, or the moment you feel the urge to use a complicated industry buzzword to patch over an explanation, you must stop. That specific roadblock is the smoking gun, is the exact gap in your understanding. You then trace that gap directly back to your source material. Study that isolated piece of information until it is crystal clear and repeat the explanation. If you cannot explain a highly complex concept using the vocabulary of a child, you do not truly understand it yet. When you master this approach, you stop memorizing word. 3. Deliberate friction. Step 3 is where true accelerated learning happens, and it requires you to completely change how you treat mental effort. It is called deliberate friction. The human brain is biologically designed to conserve energy. It hates burning calories on deep thought. Because of this, passive studying, like highlighting a textbook, rereading your notes, or casually listening to a lecture, feels comfortable precisely because your brain is barely working. It is a smooth process, which is exactly why your brain ignores it and wipes the information from your memory hours later. To force your brain to build permanent neural pathways at lightning speed, You must inject deliberate friction into your study routine. You need to stop consuming information and start forcing your brain to retrieve it. This means for every 20 minutes you spend reading or watching a tutorial, you must spend 40 minutes actively testing yourself. Shut the book, turn off the video, and force your mind to reconstruct what you just learned from absolute scratch. Write it down on a blank sheet of paper, build a real project, or use active recall flashcards. When you struggle to remember a fact, or when you make an error on a practice test and immediately look up the correct answer, your brain experiences a microshock. That specific friction triggers a neurological signal that tells your brain, this information is critical for survival. Lock it down. By shifting your time from passive reading to aggressive self-testing, you compress weeks of traditional studying into a single, high-intensity hour. Step 4. Hacking the forgetting curve. Step 4 is the final piece of the puzzle, and it acts as the insurance policy for your brain. It is called hacking the forgetting curve. Human biology has a built-in security system. The moment you learn a new piece of information, your brain immediately begins erasing it to save storage space. Within 24 hours of reading a book or watching a tutorial, you will lose up to 70% of what you just consumed. This is why cramming for 5 hours straight the night before an exam is a psychological failure. The information is sitting in your volatile temporary memory, waiting to be deleted. To permanently lock data into your long-term memory with 90% less total effort, you must use spaced repetition. This technique requires you to review the core information at precise, widening intervals, hitting your brain at the exact millisecond it is about to forget the material. Instead of studying a concept for 2 hours in one day, you review it for 10 minutes across a structured timeline. 1 day, later, 3 days later, 7 days later, and 14 days later. Every time you review the material right at the edge of forgetfulness, you interrupt the brain's deletion process and force the neural connections to become exponentially stronger. To automate this entire system without thinking, you can use digital flashcard apps like Anki or RemNote. These platforms use algorithmic intervals to calculate your memory decay, showing you your notes right before they slip away. You are effectively tricking your biology into keeping the data forever. Traditional studying is a scam designed to waste your time. If you want to leave everyone else in the dust, stop working harder and start playing by the brain's actual rules. Cut the fluff with the 80-20 rule. Test your depth with the Feynman technique. Force growth through deliberate friction, and lock it in forever with spaced repetition. If you want to unlock more psychological shortcuts and performance hacks to absolute mastery, hit that subscribe button right now. Drop a comment below with the exact skill you are about to destroy using this system. Work smart, break the system, and I'll see you in the next video.